I pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag
of the
of the
United
United States of
States of
America
America,
and to the republic which stands one nation
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
You guys all sound great. Thank you so much. Madam Secretary, Bridget, do you want to call the roll for everyone?
Yes, certainly. Am I muted? No, okay.
You're good.
Vice Chair Howard Elfman,
Here.
Joel Slotnick,
Here.
Glenn Lindsay,
Here.
Robert Faniff,
Here.
Chair John Foreman.
Here.
Sorry. Okay, everybody's here. Thank you.
Excellent. Has everybody got a chance to review the minutes from last month's meeting? And do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting.
Excellent.
I'll second.
Great. All right. We don't have to call a roll call on that or anything like that. If not, we're going to move on to the first.
Well, there should be a vote, just all in favor.
All in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Great. So let's go ahead and move to our first case of the evening, case number 200902, 3031 West Commercial Boulevard, Hometown Studio Hotel. Detective Miniatis, you want to go ahead and give us the status update there?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just before we start, though, I think, Bridget, you may want to swear in. There may be two speakers tonight, which would be Mr. Corey Gavin and Attorney Zach Colangelo. If we could just swear them in first before we get going.
Gentlemen, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give this evening will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
My talk?
No.
No, okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Bridget. The owner of this property is DWCLV LLC, and they were mailed legal notice to tonight's meeting on November 19th, 2020. Police-related incidents for the last 30 days totaled 31, with 0 being nuisance related. And once again, I have a printout of the calls, and nearly 50% of them were calls where officers did not do a report whatsoever. So I continue to visit the property every week and reach out to the manager, Mr. Khan, to see if there are any issues that need to be addressed. On November 16th, I met with Mr. Khan and we walked over to the Chevron gas station to talk with Ms. Amanda Peralta, who is the manager there, who was in the meeting last month. Amanda had some concerns, and I told her that we will all work together to help each other out. And she was very happy that we came in to visit her. And matter of fact, Amanda and Mr. Khan also exchange phone numbers. So if she has any issues with anything, she can call him, and the same thing for him with her. So I thought that was very helpful. On December 2nd, I met with Mr. Corey Gavin, who is here tonight, from Summer Lake Rental Complex next door. We looked at the camera system, and we also met with Mr. Tariq Khan. Mr. Gavin advised that he has noticed an improvement in the last several weeks from the property, which was very, very good to hear. Also, Mr. Khan and Mr. Gavin both stated they will keep in touch with each other to address any concerns they may have. Also, I went over to the property next door with Mr. Gavin just so I can get a pretty good view of everything from that location. And I thought that was very helpful. And it's also great having another law enforcement officer right there to help out. And I'm glad that he's right next door, so he can always get a hold of me if he has any issues with anything. I want to give you the information from the detail officer, the detail coordinator, Officer Jimmy Hayes. He updated me on the efforts from the officers that are working on the property. He stated security guards are putting up a gate at the entrance to check IDs from the hotel list. Individuals loitering have decreased, and he stated it has quieted down over the past few weeks, which is exactly what I think Mr. Gavin will attest to also. The Officer Hayes also told me that several stairwell doors were broken. And I advised Mr. Khan to have that addressed, so I'm sure he's going to take care of that issue. Basically, if the doors are broken from the people from the outside can come right into the stairwells. So I want to make sure we get that taken care of. He also told me that Mr. Powell informed him that a permanent gate is being installed soon and that it will be manned by a security guard. Maybe Zach, who is the attorney for the hotel, may be able to update us on any new information pertaining to the gate. But I just want to let you know that the property is in compliance at this time. And I recommend a status hearing for the month of January 2021. And Zach, I don't know if you'd like to add anything reference to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Detective. Yes, I do have some additional information that I found out today with regard to the installation of the gate. As we advised last time, we were waiting on permitting. We actually reached out to Detective Maniatis to have him help us maybe expedite the process, because I know this is important. And so essentially the city stated that we needed to resubmit the permit. The city has advised us that we needed to have the architect essentially change the plans a little bit to address a parking situation. I believe that parking spaces were changed inappropriately during the initial drawings. So we spoke to the engineer today. The plans are being finalized this week. They will be resubmitted, and then based on the information that I believe Detective Maniatis has received and passed on, we'll be able to expedite the permit and get moving on construction in the very near future. And yeah, and additionally, I want to just mention that we've continued to have a outside security present. In addition to the Fort Lauderdale Police Patrol, we have outside security there 7 days a week, every night. And I'm very glad that Mr. Gavin has noticed an improvement on the property. I'm glad things are moving in the right direction.
Okay, anything else from the board?
Any questions that anybody has regarding the status hearing or status update that Detective had?
Yeah, Zach, I got a question. So you said in the very near future, I know you're resubmitting everything. Is there an ETA on that? Is there a timeline that's being established for everything?
I don't. Sorry, was somebody else speaking?
No, go ahead, Zach.
So I don't believe there's been an exact timeline. Again, we spoke to the architect today who is finalizing the plans. The only other thing he has to do is obtain some information about the wind resistance on the gate, because it's over 6 feet tall. And so there are certain requirements as to the wind resistance. And so he is in the final stages of doing this. Again, I anticipate, based on what I've heard, that the plans will be submitted this week. And then again, based on what I've heard from Detective Maniatis' contact within the permitting department, I believe that shouldn't take too long. Initially, the thing that has delayed us to this point is that the permitting was taking a long time because the department had slowed down during COVID. We've now, I guess, managed to reach the relevant person within the department, and so there won't be another delay of that sort again. Okay,
and the only reason I'm asking is because one of the things is Sarah's going to ask me. So I'm here pretty much on my behalf as well as hers. So, she's going to ask what's, timeline wise, because the one thing that she's getting riled up about and everything is timelines, and because she doesn't believe the actual actions are going to happen. That's not coming from me. That's coming from her. I mean, me personally, I understand what it takes with the amount of time to do certain stuff in regards to the architectural, getting the plans done, getting the permits, getting, the bids, things of that nature. So I know stuff takes time. but I'm just saving you guys a lot of grief in regards to, she's gonna want certain specifics in regards to dates, times, ETAs, things of that nature. So anything that, again, to save you guys any type of hassle or grief in any aspect is, if there could be a potential timeline for each phase of it, will definitely relieve a lot of headache.
Yes, sir. I completely understand. I appreciate that. Again, I don't have a timeline right now. I'm happy to stay in touch with you. I don't have Sarah's information. I don't feel comfortable contacting her, given that she's represented in this case. I'm happy to contact her attorney to keep him posted. I'm happy to contact you if you'd like to give me your information. And again, with regard to, it not happening, it happening, we've given our word to the court. Again, there's a civil case going on the side, and we've given our word to the court that this is happening. And I've seen the communications from the architect. I've seen the drawings. I've seen the permit that was submitted. I've talked to the decision makers at the property. This is a done deal. It is in motion. It is happening.
And believe me, by no means am I doubting anything you're saying. I know the whole thing, but again, like I said, to save everyone grief and time, one of the things, believe me, is going to be ETAs on certain phases of stuff. Now, granted, there's some things that can't be given an ETA on, especially when it comes down to bidding, coding, permitting, and things of that nature, is based on when they could get to it, they get to it, type of deal. So I'm just saying is any time of timeline that could be given in certain phases of stuff would be greatly appreciated, because again, that's going to save us all grief.
Yes, sir. The moment I have any information, I will be sure it gets passed along.
Yeah.
I'd like to add in one more thing, Mr. Chair, if I can.
Oh, go ahead.
I received an email several weeks ago from Sarah telling me that the property is not in compliance because the signs were not up. When I went to visit the property with Mr. Gavin, I showed him where the signs were. So the signs are up and the property is in compliance. And I'm sure Mr. Gavin went back and told her that the signs are up. So I wanted to clarify that. I also want to clarify, next month, January the 14th will be our next meeting, and that will most likely be virtual again. So I just want to let everybody know that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And Joel, it looked like you had something to say there.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do they anticipate, because we're getting really into the midst of the holiday season, that that's going to help prolong this from happening sooner than possible?
The gate you're talking about, right?
Right, the gate.
Any inclination there, Zach, on the gate?
Because I can see that as a possible pushback from having it done a little sooner.
Certainly. And so I can tell you that no, that will not delay the submission of the new permit application. That will not delay the plans. Again, as Mr. Gavin suggested earlier, it's not really for me to say whether the holiday season will delay the permitting process. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I can certainly see how it would. It may even be likely. But again, some of these, we're doing everything we can in our power. We're being responsive to the request of the city. We're, keeping the ball rolling. But there are certain things that are out of our hand. Holiday, vacations, things like that. I apologize, but I can't speak to it.
Understood. And I think, Zach, you and Corey being in touch, I think, is probably going to help mitigate some of those questions, and just keeping Sarah, through Corey, advised on that sort of thing. Is there any other questions that the board has regarding anything that Zach or Corey or Detective Miniatis has brought up?
No, the one thing I can contest to is the detective's actually right. I mean, I've seen the signage up and everything. She was wanting to see it actually posted in front where everyone can see, type of deal, but that's not necessarily the case and point that needs to be done. It just needs to be posted in not a specific spot, but a place that people transit through, which they are.
Got it. Okay. Good. I'm glad. That's great. I mean, I drove the property myself this week, and I don't have anything to really compare it to, so I hadn't seen it prior. But it looks like everything that we've discussed on here is being implemented from what I can see. The gate wasn't there yet, obviously, but that's in permitting. So if there's nothing else from the board, we'll move on to our final agenda of the night, which is the board discussion. Is there anything that anybody would like to bring up outside of maybe this case or something else to discuss?
Just in general, I saw on the news there was actually a board decision relating to a hotel in a neighboring city, and I just thought that was a point of interest. Just seeing what was going on in the media about the construction of a hotel. I mean, I was just going to float that by and just mention that I saw that, and
What was the decision on?
I mean, it was the city. I think it was Tamarack.
Yeah, it was Tamarack, and it's a no-go.
Yeah, it was a no-go. I mean, it obviously I was thinking about our work here and about how, I mean, I'd like to think that, that meeting went to 1:30 in the morning. I mean, I don't think we have meetings till 1:30 in the morning, but.
I was going to say, Howard probably knows all about those planning and zoning boards.
Used to.
Yep, that's those can go pretty long. I've sat in some of those that have gone really, really long. Hopefully that doesn't happen to us here. But that being said, if there's not anything else, then we'll go ahead and conclude it.
Entertain a motion.
Yep, we need a motion to conclude the meeting. Does
I
anyone?
have something. I have something.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I just want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday.
I was about
Oh.
to stole that from
It's
you.
a given. Thank you. Happy holidays, everybody.
Everybody.
Yes.
In a
Yep,
safe
same
one.
here.
We need a motion to close this out. though.
Motion to close.
We need a second.
I'll second.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Happy holidays.
Hey, Zach,
Holidays.
Zach, I need to get your info.
Corey and Zach, I will take care of that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say,
Terrific.
yeah, these can put us in touch.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Happy holidays again.
Happy
Bye,
holidays.
guys.
Happy
you.
holidays.
Good night, y'all.